Alright then, well, Swaddy Gap. Hello everybody, I'm Emilio Esteban. You probably remember me from the Eye Opener and the Forward with Thailand program that we did with TP Rude with Dr. Piandeng. Now Dr. Piandeng has invited me to make a sequence of programs for the Thai Alliance for Human Rights on the issue of human rights, and of course I've accepted because I'm interested in that subject. Now, the first thing that I wanted to talk about today was the question of human rights in prisons. Now, this is quite a topical subject at the moment because, of course, one prisoner that's in the news at the moment who has gone on hunger strike because of her prison conditions is, of course, Nadezhda Tolokónnikova. Okay, Nadezhda Tolokónnikova. Now, she's one of the members of Pussy Riot, if you remember, the Russian punk group who performed recently one of their songs and were arrested and imprisoned for that. Now, she's just gone on hunger strike in a prison near Moscow, and I think it's worth mentioning all this because you really have to ask yourself about prison conditions in general and whether the authorities in Russia and in other countries respect human rights. Now, we saw this recently in Thailand too, where, as you know, Ampon died, and at the inquest into his death, a whole sequence of quite cruel treatment was exposed, and the treatment of lèse-majesté prisoners in general became an issue recently. Well, now I think that in Russia too this is becoming an issue with Nadezhda's decision to go on hunger strike. The issue of the treatment of prisoners in prison is a topical issue. Now, the reason why Nadezhda seems to have gone on hunger strike is basically because of the treatment that the women are receiving in prison. She talks about women being beaten for not completing their duties in the workshops, etc., the sewing workshops, women being humiliated, some of the prisoners being, forced into labour working 17 hours a day. Now, normally, I think most people would accept that these are not fit conditions for people to work under. But for some reason it seems to be almost acceptable when it comes to prisoners who have been convicted, even if their crimes are non-violent crimes or thought crimes. But in reality, human rights are human rights, and they still apply even when you have broken a law. There's no reason why your rights as a human being should be violated in this way just because you've gone against a particular law which happens to be in place at that particular time, because your human rights are universal and they are yours as a right as a human being, and you cannot be denied those rights just because you've committed a transgression, because you've been convicted of what they term a crime. And I would like just to make this I'd like to make that point and just generally make a call to people to support Nadezhda Tolokónnikova in her hunger strike, which is now in its 5th day. She has in fact been sent to the hospital, the prison hospital, and I would like to make a call to the international community and to everybody that's listening to support Nadezhda and to offer a bit of your time to write a few letters, etc., because the issue of human rights in prisons is one that is often not talked about, and it should be.